This is a fan-generated show. If you would like to support us, please go to jamieglazov.com, and also don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. All your support is greatly appreciated. Jihadist Psychopath by Dr. Jamie Glazov. I will tell you as an expert on Sharia, as a former child bride who has suffered and faced my own jihadi psychopath. I want you to go and order this book on Amazon.com or go to jamieglazov.com. Get a copy for yourself. You know why? Because you need to be equipped with the knowledge to fight our enemy so you can save your daughters and your granddaughters from future of Islam.
Good evening. Welcome to the Jamie Glazov Moment. Tonight, Twitter warns me about my Sri Lanka Jihad tweet. Well, my friends, Twitter is at it again, a little bit in a different way this time, but very, very telling. Now, recently, this leading social media platform has sent me a notification / warning that it had received a complaint about my tweet that I sent on April 21st about the world's response to the Sri Lanka Jihad massacre. Now, I had tweeted my view about the discrepancy in the international community's reaction to the Sri Lanka Jihad in comparison to how the international community had reacted to the shootings at the mosques at Christchurch in New Zealand a little earlier. And here's what I tweeted, quote, "With this tragic Sri Lanka Jihad massacre having been perpetrated, I am bewildered. Where are all Muslim leaders and all leaders wearing the cross and saying the Our Father and Hail Mary aloud in public? Or it's only when Islam is a target that everyone dons the hijab? Question mark." End of quote. Now, what I'm saying is the truth. For instance, after the shootings in the mosques in Christchurch in New Zealand, where do we begin? Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern donned the hijab, engaged in many other actions submitting to Sharia law. And this kind of behavior was emulated and it was copied and it was done by many others around the world. Watch Paul Watson's video, The Truth About the Sri Lanka Attacks, where he shows the surreal double standards about, in terms of the international community's reaction to both attacks. Now, after my tweet, Twitter soon informed me that it had received a complaint about my tweet. And here was the warning that they sent me. Quote, "We have received a complaint regarding your account for the following content." And then they show my tweet. And then they write, "We have investigated the reported content and could not identify any violations of the Twitter rules or applicable law. Accordingly, we have not taken any action at this time." End of quote. That's their warning notification. Whew! Oh, they didn't find any violations, so they haven't taken any action here. Okay, this is very, very telling, ladies and gentlemen. On the one hand, it is commendable that Twitter, this time at least, took my side, as opposed to an earlier occasion, for instance, where it had suspended me for my apparent violation of their Twitter rules by my referencing of several Islamic religious texts. Exactly. You can look this up. Just go to jamieglazov.com or Google this in terms of my suspension from Twitter, and you can read about it. I was actually suspended from Twitter because I had referenced Islamic religious texts, because I was discussing Muhammad's marriage to 6-year-old Aisha, and I was also discussing the mandates on the hijab. And I had simply referenced Quranic texts and other texts in the Hadith, etc., discussing this. And that's why they had suspended me earlier. And in another bizarre and Kafkaesque episode, Twitter had warned me that my new book, Jihadist Psychopath, violated Pakistan's blasphemy law. So Twitter is warning me that my book is violating Islamic blasphemy laws. Question, why is Twitter faithfully doing Pakistan's Sharia bidding? This remains an issue that many are waiting for Twitter to explain. There's no explanation yet. But in any case, this time they didn't take action against me. But there's a question. What is the complaint against my tweet based on exactly? They should have provided what that complaint was. Because is there something wrong with pointing out that many leaders and members of the international community were donning the hijab after the Christchurch mosque shootings? Because it's simply a fact that they were. And so, what exactly is wrong with wondering where are all the leaders and people, Muslim and non-people alike, who are verbalizing the Our Father and the Hail Mary aloud in public as an expression of their solidarity with Christians after the Sri Lanka Jihad massacre? Why isn't this happening? When will governments declare a national day of awareness about Christophobia, for instance, and organize teachings and workshops aimed especially at followers of the religion of peace? So once again, it is encouraging that on this occasion again, Twitter has not done Sharia's bidding. But it's still extremely disturbing that Twitter is even taking these complaints of this tyrannical kind seriously and is actually informing the potential thought offender about these warnings. It is also extremely worrying that Twitter is still enforcing Islamic blasphemy laws. Now, the ideal situation, maybe not even the ideal, the normal situation, what really should be happening here, is that Twitter should be informing me, if anything, that it got this complaint and that it has disciplined the complainer for trying to enforce Islamic blasphemy laws. That's what should be going on. Dear Jamie Glazov, we received a complaint about this tweet, Obviously, this complainer thinks that Islamic blasphemy laws are in being enforced in our society. We do not live under Sharia law, and we will inform the complainer about this and maybe consider suspending them for trying to enforce Sharia. Why isn't that the case? Ladies and gentlemen, all people who value free speech should contact Twitter and encourage this leading social media platform to stop this behavior, to value free speech, and to reject all totalitarian efforts to silence it. Because something very wrong, as we know, is going on at Twitter on many levels. Even in this case right now, even though it did take my side, it's still very strange that it's taking these kind of complaints seriously and warning me or notifying me about them. Go at Twitter. You can go to @TwitterSupport or @Twitter. Let Twitter know we are not in Pakistan. We are not in Saudi Arabia. We're not in Iran. We're in the United States of America where there is free speech. Twitter should value free speech and also bring back all the people, conservatives, that it is banned for telling the truth about the left and about Islam. Thank you for joining the Jamie Glazov Moment this evening. We'll see you soon. Good night.